Final preparations are ongoing ahead of the launch of the European Union Enlargement Summit organized by Euronews, which will take place on Tuesday in Brussels.
Belgium's defense minister says a series of unidentified drone flights near a military base where US nuclear weapons are stored could be a spying operation.
Peru has announced the cutting of diplomatic ties with Mexico over an asylum claim of a former Peruvian prime minister under investigation for rebellion.
Final preparations are ongoing ahead of the launch of the European Union Enlargement Summit organized by Euronews. Leaders from the European Union and candidate countries will meet in Brussels on Tuesday to discuss the future of European integration. Each candidate country will arrive armed with its own agenda, political constraints and timetable, with all hoping to join the bloc. Meanwhile, the EU will want to leverage the current political momentum which favors enlargement. Ukraine and Moldova were the most recent countries to file applications to join the EU in 2022, following Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. In the Western Balkans, Montenegro and Albania are the favorites to join the EU in the next few years. North Macedonia and Serbia, on the other hand, still have some way to go before they can join the European project. This summit will be an opportunity to highlight the benefits of EU membership status, such as access to new markets, strengthening the EU's international influence and consolidating democracy in Europe. A special feature of this meeting is that the summit will be broadcast live on Euronews, allowing all Europeans to follow the content of these discussions in real time.
Belgium has raised concerns over what it called unidentified drone flights near a military base where US nuclear weapons are stored. According to Defense Minister Theo Franken, the flights spotted during the weekend seem to be part of a spying operation. The Belgian defense chief on Monday confirmed that drones had flown into the area near the Klein Bruegel Air Base in northeast Belgium in two phases on Saturday and Sunday night. The first phase involved small drones to test the radio frequencies of Belgian security services. Then later came big drones to destabilize the area and people, Franken told local media. Both NATO and the European Union have been on high alert following a string of airspace violations thought to be from Russia in recent weeks. In September, NATO issued a warning to Moscow saying it would use all means to defend against any further breaches of its airspace after the downing of Russian drones over Poland and Estonia's report of an intrusion by Russian fighter jets.
In an exclusive interview with Euronews, former NATO Secretary General Anders Fogh Rasmussen urged NATO allies to increase weapons deliveries to help Ukrainians defend themselves against Russian attacks.
In my opinion, we should increase the delivery of weapons. For instance, the Germans should deliver long-range Taurus missiles. We should also help the Ukrainians defend themselves against Russian drones and missiles.
Rasmussen did, however, welcome the US decision to sanction two major Russian oil companies, describing it as a positive step forward.
It seems that gradually President Trump has lost patience with Putin, and I think the Americans gradually realize that if they are to force Putin into a peace negotiation, they will have to put much more pressure on Russia.
He called on the coalition of the willing to deploy a reassurance force to Ukraine as a security guarantee, even before reaching a peace agreement. He warned that, quote, the coalition of the willing should not be a coalition of the waiting.
UK police have charged a 32-year-old British national with 10 counts of attempted murder on Monday after a stabbing incident on a London-bound train on Saturday. Anthony Williams has been named by police as the perpetrator of the attack, which injured 11 people, 9 of them critically. The train departed Doncaster on Saturday and was forced to make an emergency stop at Huntingdon just before 8 p.m. Victims say the incident was one of the most horrifying experiences of their lives.
Yes, that it was horrible when you know that the train's still going, that there's no police helping you in the train. Obviously there wouldn't be, but I was hoping that the train would just stop and we could just leave. I felt claustrophobic because everyone's pushing in and we're trapped in the small kitchen area. B, there's a guy with a knife stabbing everyone and you don't know if you're going to be next or not.
British Transport Police say only one victim remains in critical condition. 4 others are also still hospitalized, but are no longer being treated for life-threatening injuries. The suspect, Williams, was not immediately asked to enter into a plea and stands to face the courts in an official hearing on the 1st of December.
France's consumer watchdog has reported fast fashion firm Shein to the authorities for selling childlike sex dolls. The news comes in the wake of Shein's announcement last month that it intends to open its first physical store in central Paris. The law authorizes French authorities to order online platforms to remove clearly illegal content such as child pornography within 24 hours. If they fail to comply, authorities can require internet service providers and search engines to block access and delist the site. By Monday, the dolls had been removed from Shein's platforms. The watchdog also noted that Shein sells other pornographic products, including adult-like sex dolls, without effective age-filtering measures. Economy Minister Roland Lescure said on Monday he would seek to ban Shein from the French market if similar incidents were to occur again.
Travelers across U.S. airports continue to experience major flight delays and cancellations due to an uptick in absences from air traffic controllers caused by the government shutdown. Almost 13,000 air traffic controllers in the U.S. have been working without pay since October, when the government shutdown began. But not all of them are willing to do so, with many taking sick leave, making it increasingly difficult to keep to the schedule.
I just feel this is America, and you feel when you come to America that things will work properly, and so we're going to be here probably for about 5 hours now because we thought we had to check in early because of what's going on, so slightly disappointing.
The U.S. government shutdown is due to enter its 35th day by Tuesday evening, when it will tie with the 2018 to 2019 shutdown as the longest in U.S. history. According to the Washington, D.C.-based Bipartisan Policy Center, at least 670,000 civilian federal employees have been temporarily suspended, while some 730,000 are working without pay.
Peru has announced the severing of diplomatic ties with Mexico. It comes after former Peruvian Prime Minister Betsy Chavez, who is under investigation for rebellion, fled to the Mexican embassy in Peru to request asylum. The country's foreign minister said the government decided to cut ties as the Mexican government has been interfering in a, quote, inadmissible and systematic manner in Peru's internal affairs. In 2022, authorities accused Chavez of participating in a coup d'etat together with former President Pedro Castillo. Lima is seeking to sentence Chavez, who was Castillo's prime minister at the time, to up to 25 years in prison.
A powerful 6.3 magnitude earthquake shook northern Afghanistan in the early hours of Monday, killing at least 20 people and injuring hundreds more. A spokesperson for the health ministry noted that most of the injured suffered only minor wounds and were discharged after initial treatment.
نږدې 300 تنه زموږ هیوادوال ټپیان شوي دي. البته شهیدان هم تقریبا د 100 څخه پورته دي. د معلومات تر اوسه پورې ابتدایي ارقام دي. زموږ د ژغورنې ټیمونه همدارنګه روغتیايي ټیمونه په سیمه کې موجود دي. د افغانستان اسلامي امارت د عامه روغتیا وزارت د رهبرۍ لوري ټول روغتونونو ته امر شوی تر څو آماده اوسیږي.
The U.S. Geological Survey says the earthquake struck around midnight on Monday near the northern city of Khuln. It struck at a depth of around 28 kilometers and was felt in several nearby provinces. Residents of the capital Kabul, almost 400 kilometers away, say they also felt the tremors. Officials say search and rescue operations are ongoing, with emergency response teams having already arrived at the most damaged areas.
Ich habe mir die Epochen, die Jahrhunderte, aber auch einzelne Objekte und Exponate angeschaut und geguckt, welche Rolle Düfte in den jeweiligen Zeiten hatten, was vielleicht gerade neu entwickelt worden ist, was erfunden wurde, was gesellschaftlich eine Rolle spielte, und habe das versucht mit unterschiedlichen Technologien und auch Erfahrungsmöglichkeiten hier zu präsentieren. Düfte sind rein emotional. Das ist der einzige Sinnesreiz, der nicht rational gefiltert werden kann. Der geht also direkt ins limbische System, ist immer unmittelbar so, dass Düfte eben Emotionen kriegen.